The story of the 12 apostles of Jesus is a tale of bravery, dedication, and sacrifice. These men were among the closest companions of Jesus, and they followed him through his teachings, miracles, and ultimately, his crucifixion. However, their own lives were also marked by persecution, suffering, and death. In this video, we will explore how the 12 apostles died and the interesting and often gruesome details of their martyrdoms. Simon Peter. Simon Peter was one of the closest disciples of Jesus and the first pope of the Catholic Church. He was crucified upside down in Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero in 64 AD. According to tradition, Peter requested to be crucified upside down because he felt unworthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. Andrew. Andrew was the brother of Simon Peter and a fisherman by trade. He was martyred by crucifixion in the city of Patras, Greece. According to legend, Andrew preached the gospel to the people of Patras and was eventually arrested by the Roman governor. He was tied to an X-shaped cross, known as the St. Andrew's Cross, and left to die. James the Greater. James the Greater was one of the 3 apostles who were closest to Jesus, along with Peter and John. He was the first of the apostles to be martyred, beheaded by Herod Agrippa in Jerusalem in 44 AD. John. John was the disciple whom Jesus loved and the author of the Gospel of John. According to tradition, he was exiled to the island of Patmos by the Roman authorities, where he wrote the book of Revelation. He later returned to Ephesus, where he died peacefully. Philip. Philip was one of the first disciples of Jesus and a missionary in Asia Minor. He was martyred by crucifixion in the city of Hierapolis, Turkey. According to legend, Philip was preaching to the people of Hierapolis when he was arrested and sentenced to death. Bartholomew. Bartholomew was a missionary and evangelist who preached in India, Armenia, and Mesopotamia. He was martyred by flaying or being skinned alive in Armenia. Thomas. Thomas was one of the 12 apostles and is best known for his skepticism about the resurrection of Jesus. He later became a missionary in India, where he was martyred by being speared to death. Matthew. Matthew was a tax collector before becoming an apostle of Jesus. He was martyred by being stabbed to death in Ethiopia. James the Lesser. James the Lesser was a disciple of Jesus and the author of the Epistle of James. He was stoned to death in Jerusalem in 62 AD. Thaddeus. Thaddeus, also known as Jude, was a missionary and author of the Epistle of Jude. He was martyred by being clubbed to death in Persia. Simon the Zealot. Simon the Zealot was a political activist who became an apostle of Jesus. He was martyred by being crucified or by being cut in half with a saw in Persia. Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot is known for betraying Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. After his betrayal, he hanged himself. The deaths of the 12 apostles were marked by persecution, suffering, and sacrifice. Despite the challenges they faced, they remained dedicated to spreading the message of Jesus and their faith. Their martyrdoms inspired countless others to follow in their footsteps, and their legacy lives on to this day.